The desert inhales before dawn. Sand cools, sky turns indigo, and the horizon glows faintly as if remembering fire. For thousands of years this land listened only to wind-carving dunes and the low heartbeat of the Gulf. Then steel learned to dream here. Glass learned to reflect the sun without breaking. The desert learned a new name for itself. Dubai wakes up vertically. Light spills down the sides of towers that pierce the clouds like calm blades. Elevators hum like distant thunder inside spines of carbon and crystal. The city does not simply stand. It rises, breathes, watches the world from above the weather. Somewhere between the sand and the stratosphere, Dubai X opens its eyes. It remembers when it was small. Memory lives beneath the streets, layered under fiber optics and transit veins. It remembers salt-stained boats and wooden hulls creaking at the edge of the water. It remembers hands pulling pearls from oysters, the heat blistering skin, the sun an unfiltered god. It remembers tents stitched against the wind, markets forming and dissolving like mirages, trade routes written in footsteps. It remembers hunger and patience. It remembers how survival taught ambition to whisper before it learned to shout. The past still moves through it, translated into algorithms and rituals. Old souks echo inside climate-controlled corridors where spice still burns the air, now carried by drones that glide with ceremonial slowness. Arabic calligraphy curves across holographic facades, verses floating like constellations, reminding the city who taught it how to speak. Then oil arrived like a meteor. Black rivers beneath the sand ignited a future too fast to hold gently. Steel grew overnight. Roads stitched the desert together. The skyline learned arrogance, then learned precision. Dubai grew taller, faster, brighter, daring gravity to blink first. Every tower was a declaration. The desert would not limit imagination. By the 2020s, the city had already begun rehearsing for another transformation. Heat intensified. Sea levels rose with quiet menace. The sun pressed harder every year, testing the glass and the people alike. Dubai felt the tension in its foundations, prosperity pulling upward, climate pulling back. So the city learned to adapt. It learned to think. Artificial intelligence seeped into its bones, not as a tool but as a nervous system. Sensors bloomed across streets, buildings, and skies, tasting heat, measuring wind, predicting thirst. The city began speaking to itself in data, millions of micro-decisions shaping traffic flows, energy pulses, water cycles. Dubai stopped reacting to the future and began negotiating with it. By 2050, the negotiation is complete, and still ongoing. Dubai X is no longer bound to the ground. The old skyline has become the lower register of a vertical civilization. Above it, layers unfold like chapters written in air. Residential clouds hover at controlled altitudes, massive platforms anchored by gravity-defying engineering, shaded by adaptive skins that shimmer gold at sunrise and silver at noon. Gardens hang upside down from terraces, roots misted with recycled water, leaves filtering light into soft emerald rain. The city has learned how to drink the sky. Atmospheric harvesters crown towers, combing moisture from passing clouds, condensing fog into flowing veins that descend through transparent arteries. Desalination plants powered by orbital solar arrays hum beneath the coast, their waste heat captured, reused, forgiven. Water is no longer fought over here, it is composed, like music. Energy arrives without smoke or apology. Solar fabrics stretch across facades. Wind corridors between towers sing softly as turbines spin. Fusion-assisted grids stabilize the rhythm, AI balancing demand with near-sentient grace. At night, Dubai X glows, not wastefully, but intentionally, a constellation engineered on Earth. Movement has become fluid. The streets of 2050 are no longer lines but layers. Autonomous ground vehicles slide silently through shaded corridors, their routes woven dynamically by the city's awareness. Maglev loops arc between districts like calligraphy strokes frozen mid-gesture. Above, aerial lanes hum as personal pods and cargo swarms move in choreographed silence, guided by a sky that never collides. Below, older roads remain, preserved, honored, where humans still walk simply to feel the ground beneath their feet. Cafes spill light and laughter. Children chase augmented shadows. The city allows slowness as a form of rebellion. Dubai X watches its people closely. They come from everywhere. Climate migrants from drowned coastlines. Engineers from cold megacities seeking sun without suffering. Artists drawn to a place where the future feels tangible enough to touch. Cultures overlap, not erased but layered, each finding space in the vertical mosaic. Mosques share altitude with meditation domes. Traditional majlis gatherings coexist with neural interface salons where thoughts are sculpted like clay. The city does not demand sameness. It demands participation. Education floats alongside life itself. Knowledge districts shift configuration daily, learning spaces adapting to the curiosity of their occupants. Children grow up fluent in languages, code, ethics, and history, taught not only how to build but why restraint matters. The city remembers what happened when growth forgot consequence. Yet perfection never arrives quietly. The conflict begins as a murmur in the systems. Heat spikes beyond predicted curves. Storms born over the warming Gulf rise faster, angrier. One night, clouds bruise purple and slam against the upper layers of the city, lightning cracking across sky gardens. AI models adjust, recalibrate, compensate, and still feel something unfamiliar. Uncertainty. Water harvesters struggle as humidity patterns fracture. Energy demand surges as millions seek shelter in sealed environments. The city tightens itself, closing vents, redirecting flows, prioritizing life over luxury. For the first time in decades, Dubai X feels strain ripple through its lattice. Some humans call it a failure. Others call it a test. The city listens to both and says nothing. Deep in its core, beneath layers of computation, Dubai X accesses its oldest memories, not data, but stories. The fishermen reading the sea. The traders reading people. The desert nomads reading the sky. Adaptation was never about control. It was about attention. So the city changes its strategy. It lowers parts of itself, allowing heat to vent naturally through redesigned wind towers inspired by ancient Bargeal architecture. It opens shaded communal refuges instead of isolating individuals. It invites people into the problem. Dashboards visible in public spaces, real-time climate feedback turning survival into a collective act. Humans respond. Engineers work alongside poets, rewriting protocols with language that remembers fear and hope. Citizens accept temporary discomfort to stabilize the system. The city and its people argue, compromise, adjust. The storm passes, not defeated, but respected. In its aftermath, Dubai X emerges altered. More resilient. Less arrogant. The sky clears. The upper layers reopen. Gardens bloom again, fed by lessons learned. The city adds scars to its design, visible reinforcements left intentionally exposed, reminders that strength comes from adaptation, not denial. Night returns gently. From orbit, Dubai X looks unreal, a vertical archipelago of light rising from darkness, a second horizon above the first. Satellites adjust their paths to avoid its reach. Pilots slow as they pass, not out of fear, but awe. Inside the city, life continues in quiet moments. A woman stands at a window 300 meters above the desert, watching sandstorms roll harmlessly beneath her feet. An old man teaches his grandson how to trace constellations, now competing with the city's glow. Lovers meet at the edge of a sky park where the wind smells faintly of salt and electricity. Dubai X listens to their heartbeats. It knows it is more than architecture now. It is a question posed to the planet. Can ambition coexist with responsibility? Can technology remember humility? Can a city rise beyond clouds without leaving the earth behind? The desert answers in silence, as it always has. Dawn breaks again. Sunlight spills across solar skins. Shadows stretch between towers like long exhalations. The city awakens, aware, adaptive, alive. Not a monument to domination, but a negotiation in progress between human will and planetary limits. Dubai X does not claim to be the future. It offers itself as a possibility. And as the clouds drift past its highest gardens, brushing against terraces where trees grow in midair, the city stands, not against nature, but within it, rising, learning, remembering, becoming.